welcome everybody to yet another Drive Sales Show episode. Today, my boy Alex, the CEO of Remedy Payments, is joining us. He'll talk to you guys a bit more what they do, but all I'll say is they're a key part to the moving industry that is going forward in terms of technology and everything else. So, Alex, talk to us.
Thanks, Milo. It's good seeing you. Remedy, we're a company. We do credit card processing for the moving industry. So it's been something that we've been building up now for about 6 years, and we work exclusively with moving companies.
Look, when you say working exclusively with moving companies and credit card processing, people don't realize, I would say, what the general way of dealing within the moving industry was or still is in some segments, and how the payment system works. So can you walk us through how it used to be, why you got into the business, and why moving?
I was actually moving myself. So I was moving back from Savannah, Georgia out to California, and the way that I saw people processing transactions, and at this point I was already in the credit card processing space just a little bit, I saw how they were processing transactions. I said, there's got to be a better way than this. So slowly we started to join like the California Moving and Storage Association, and then just kind of get familiar with what types of transactions movers are processing, the types of solutions that they need, and then start to just kind of implement them. Because what was happening is you had a lot of generic processors out there. Like you go to your bank, they process for dry cleaners, a food truck, a movie theater. They're not so specialized in understanding like what the moving industry needs. And if you're a food truck, does it really matter if you sign up with your bank or Remedy or Square? Not really. But if you're a moving company who has an average transaction over $1,000 and you need recurring billing solutions for storage, and you want payment links that you can email out to your customers or mobile readers in the field, you kind of need someone that understands your business a little bit better, because they're going to prescribe a solution that your team can actually use and grow with. So that's kind of what we did, is we just took a consultative approach with a lot of the companies in the industry, and then just saw like, what can we do to help make them more efficient? And movers are really old school, like they're stuck in their ways. So getting someone to change technology isn't an easy thing. So it's more like you start them off with a solution that they're using today, and then you tell them, let's try this or that, and let's start dabbling with it to see if it works for you. And then that was a nice way for people to slowly adopt to some of the changes that were happening.
Yeah, if you hear the wind, I mean, I'm not going to apologize for it, because at least I can enjoy some view and enjoy the outside world. I have to be stuck here, but anyway, it's lovely outside. But thanks for letting me know, because I know, generally moving industry used to be, in some shapes and forms, it currently semi is. A lot of it is in cash payments. When you deliver your stuff, give me your cash or give me cash now. So as we digitize the industry, I think a solution like yours is absolutely critical. So speaking of your solution, if I don't have this, backwards, so help me out here. You've processed over $1 billion worth of moving services. Is that
just
correct?
last year alone?
Yeah. So like $1 billion in moving services, just that's phenomenal.
And to be honest with you, when I figured that out, I actually had a sales trainer in here training my sales team, and he was like trying to come up with some like attention grabbers for my sales team to use. And he's like, well, how much have you guys processed? So I just started like running the numbers on a calculator, and I told him, and he's like, I'm going to go home and tell my wife, my best friend processed over $1 billion last year. And I was like, that can't be right. Hold on, let me think about this. Then we went back to the drawing board and we wrote it out. And we're like, we did. Like it, and it's easier in our space because movers do a lot of volume. So, but yeah, we did $1 billion last year in moving payments, and it was kind of a nice hurdle for us.
That's a huge hurdle, man. Like, just $1 billion. That not many people can say that. Regardless, like they can't say, "Oh, I've done $1 billion." In order for a moving company to book $1 billion, I'm I'm thinking in a year trucks they need to have and how many people they have to have and how many leads they have to have. So at, I'm going to spitball here. You would at least need what? Let's say an average transaction is what? Like
$1,000.
so you want to say $1,000 basically, right? And then when you do, you have to sell 100,000. No, that's not how to do math right now. So
That's what I got too. 100,000
yeah,
jobs.
yeah. So 100,000. So I can't do math. So 100,000 jobs, and for you to be able to do 100,000 jobs, you need to convert. Let's say you convert at a phenomenal rate at 10%. Let's say you convert every lead at 10. So it means you have to have a million leads in a year to convert at 10% and then to service all of that. I don't even want to go into the operational piece of trucks, labor. I literally don't want to do that because that's ridiculous. There's no reason for me to do that. Um, so yeah, that's a lot. Congrats, man. That's a huge milestone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Walk me through how you ended up at that milestone. What it took for you to get to that milestone. That's what intriguing to me.
It took proper execution, but honestly, it took some luck. So we got into the moving industry at the right time. There wasn't a payment processor that was focusing on the industry or investing the effort into truly learning how they could help people out. So we just started getting involved with the associations, going to the chapter meetings, attending all the annual trade shows, getting involved with the van lines. And just through the involvement in the industry, movers are wonderful people. They want to help you out. If you're there supporting them, they want to support you. So just through that method, we were able to really capture a big piece of the market. And it's such a small market that once you have a few movers in a specific location, they want to send you more business and they want other people to benefit from your services. So it was just a nice, natural, organic growth. We have outbound sales. We have a team of 4 people that do outbound sales. A lot of it's inbound as well with some of our relationships with other software providers. But it's just been a nice, steady growth plan that we haven't tried to just shoot to the moon and sacrifice our service. It's just slowly grow. And as we grow, make sure the service stays on point. So it was just a lot of marketing at trade shows and just sticking to the plan.
I mean, and in terms of, I'm going to ask maybe a very annoying. In terms of starting up and financing the actual start, how did that happen? Like, was it just you that you pushed out? Was it, yeah,
That's the hardest part, like getting the bills paid. Once you have the bills paid, then it starts to get more fun. So when I was starting in credit card processing, I owned a telecommunication company that specialized in international calling. And at the time, I wanted to leverage my network. So I started selling credit card processing. Through that, I built up a little bit of commission that at least I could pay my bills on. So then I was able to quit everything else, just focus on that, and then worked from my home for about 2 years, did the sales, the support, the whole thing. And then from there, built up enough money, hired a sales rep, then started growing that. Then I got overwhelmed with service. So then hired one service person. So it was just a matter of like covering that initial piece is the hardest part. So once you have it covered, that's when it starts to get fun because then it's like, well, I could use this money. Let's say I make an extra $10,000. I can take it or I can put it back to work. And at that point, when it starts to get like that, you're like, well, let's put it back to work because this is working. And that's when it gets fun. So that the trick for myself was my wife was working at the time, so that drastically helped me out. And just keep your bills low, keep them low, because if you start getting the crazy bills, that's when you can't grow because you need the money.
Yeah, and I the reason why I'm asking is because I'm very interested. Because I'm very interested. I'm asking for a friend, as they would say. So yeah, I mean, generally growing the company is super fun. For us, it's also all about service. As we are tackling a couple of a different segment of the moving industry, but anyway, let's not talk about us. We're here to talk about the remedy payments and you specifically. So, as you've grown, what was that point in that growth that you say, damn, I love what I do. This is phenomenal. I love the people that I work with. When was that moment, if you had that, like one specific situation? No, like let's rephrase that. One specific situation that made you think, I'm at the right place at the right time with the right people.
The whole time I felt that way. I've just felt like once you just kind of decide what you want to do and you put your head down and you make a plan, like you just stick to it. So once I got a sales rep and one operations person, that's when it was like, okay, now I can focus on growing the company and I can actually have a little bit more fun with it. So still till today, though, if I take a vacation, it's not really a vacation. I'm sure you
Oh,
know that too.
oh, absolutely. I do know that. I do know that. Some
So
people
I have
enjoy vacation, but some people work. It's fine.
the day when I think it'll be like that cool aha moment is when I can go on a vacation and comfortably turn off my cell phone knowing that I don't need to make sure everything's okay.
Now, is it because I'm gonna? This is gonna be painful, but is it because you like to know everything and be involved with everything, or the business legitimately can't deal without you being 10 days away?
The business can deal with me being away for 10 days, 100%. But it's one of those things that like you've worked so hard to get to this point and you've done it all yourself that you want to make sure it stays as good. And like if you look at our reviews online, we don't have one bad review. I keep telling myself I need to go on there and just post a bad review because when it does happen, and it will happen one day, it's going to be heartbreaking. So I just want to go post a bad review myself.
But the thing is, so what I was trying to say is nothing is stopping you to have that aha moment other
Correct.
than yourself. That's
Yeah.
literally nothing stopping you. Like, I wish I was at that particular point in time. But dude, I'm just telling you, do it. Do it for like 5 days. It will help
Next
you.
summer, next summer, my wife and I are planning to do a Europe trip and like really let loose and stop by you.
It's no joke. You should stop by because yeah, I'm not including the Europe trip, I'll be deeply offended. By the way, just so you know, I'll
How
be
far are you
deeply
from Greece?
very close, like
Right?
5 hours, 5 hours driving.
Quick little flight.
Yeah, the flight to Cyprus is 2 hours. Cyprus is
Okay.
further away. It's like super quick, like 45 minutes, an hour, whatever.
Nice.
So
But
you
that's
should
when we'll have that moment.
you should. So there's Greece. There's a lot of things you can check out in the area. Not sure if you've seen, for example, are you a Game of Thrones, like, I'm not gonna say fan, but like, have you seen it? Have you enjoyed
Yes.
it? Okay. If you want to see, they've shot the majority of it in terms of the King's Landing and stuff in a place called Dubrovnik. And you should check it out if you want to see it. I mean, they have the whole tour and all that stuff there sorted out.
Where's that at? Is that by you?
It's relatively close. Like, you should be able to see it, and I mean, it's rather nice. It's in Croatia, so
Okay.
it's in Croatia. Croatia has lovely beaches. Then there's There's a bunch of things that you guys can see. If you guys want to let loose, you would go to Huawei. And this is turning into a TripAdvisor thing. We shouldn't be going into the TripAdvisor thing. But anyway, there's a bunch of things to do here, and I'll hook you up later on with what you should be looking at to check out and see the region at least, if you're not going to like Western Europe and stuff.
With yourself and your new venture, what has been like the point for you that you're starting to get excited? Because I can tell you're excited about it.
Yeah, like I've been excited. I've been excited about it for a bit now, um, and it's genuinely like actually when we start getting clients and then people start utilizing the service or a product, whichever way they go. I mean, it's just like it's one of those things that it shows that there's a need, even if the market is huge. There's good companies out there that service the same products and same, but still, it just goes to show the market is big for everybody to be involved. And there you go. Turn the lights off. It's completely fine. And I'm absolutely enjoying every customer that I'm trying to bring on. And you know what I enjoy? Actually, I enjoy sales calls.
Sales calls.
Oh, yeah, like I legitimately enjoy making calls now.
Fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's revenue.
It's revenue, and then at the end of the day, if I'm not going to do it, and while the team is here, why should I expect anybody else to do it effectively or even do it? Like you hire people to do certain stuff, but your leader, so to speak, isn't equipped as well to do the job and isn't in the front lines, especially at a very early stage as we are, then I mean, it's not gonna go far. So
Example.
yeah, you have to. I mean, you have to. If you don't leave an example in a particular situation that we are in, I mean, then I listen to when they call, I give feedback, they give me feedback. I'm not one of those, hey, this is how it has to be done. If you don't do this, you're in trouble. It doesn't work that way. When I work with my sales reps or in any company, right, I've been a part with, I give them a lot of freedom in terms of I give them like the framework, what needs to like what should happen and the reasons why it should happen. I'm not one of those people that says, "Hey, here's the framework, do it," without an explanation in terms of psychology and the back end why this should work, and then different scenarios they can play at or different approaches they can take just to be able to explore and see what works for them. Because everybody has a different approach. You should have a different approach, I believe, at least.
Are there any cool like sales tools? Like I just downloaded one yesterday that I'm dabbling with. Are there any cool sales tools that you found useful?
There are a lot of sales tools that are useful. Like the entire tech space in terms of sales augmentation, marketing technology, all that, like it's booming. We've seen last year multiples for startups in like ridiculous multiples in valuations that are absolutely unsustainable as we are seeing right now. But there are so many different tools that you can. And for example, if you're looking for email marketing, there is there's tools that you can utilize. I'm not sure you can check out Lemlist, for example. I have friends that work there, so that's how I started using them. There's all sorts of other tools that you can play with in terms of helping you with text messaging, helping you with email marketing, helping you actually with copy for your outreach, helping you with writing, better content as well. So yeah, there's a bunch of cool tools. So what are you dabbling with in terms of
I
sales?
started with let me see what it's called. Yesware. It's an email plugin for Gmail, and it shows you the analytics of all the emails that you send. It helps score them with like keywords. Are you using salesy words? Are you putting together good emails? And it focuses on the syntax. And then it shows you every email that's been opened, and it doesn't notify the sender. So if the sender, or it doesn't notify the recipient.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool to see. Like if you're working in sales and you're sending people follow-up emails, you can see, are they just ignoring you? Are they opening the emails? Are they just too busy? Are they out on vacation? And then the template tools within it are pretty slick. Like you can create a whole series of email templates that just plug into your email, attach PDFs, embed pictures. Been pretty cool.
You should check out Lavender.
Lavender.
Yes, you should
I'm gonna
check
check.
out Lavender. I'm gonna shout out to Will because we are a startup. They hooked us up with a trial version, so it's they're it's very nice. Let me say it's very nice. Enjoy it. There's a trial. I'll hook you up. I'll hook you up with one of the people that started the company. So it's a very cool tool.
Okay. Yeah, right now I'm to the point where it's all about sales efficiencies and trying to just bring in the tools to make the team better.
It is, and that's like, for example, at our company, we have the tools that will allow you to effectively follow up and with leads and all that stuff, especially for moving companies. So it's crucial in how you manage the pipeline and being efficient with the tools and tech they utilize. It then also helps you scale more efficiently and more cost effective if done right. If you automate and it's done poorly, that is literally the worst thing they can do to yourself and to your brand in terms of outreach.
Yeah. Then you're just having people use bad templates and tools.
Oh, not just that; it's just a bad copy. For example, every single, not every single. I might be exaggerating here, but the majority of salespeople that send them emails, I'm going to take a wild guess, and I'm going to go on a limb and say that you and I have done it a lot of times, and the emails that I used to send used to be formal. When I started sales, like, used to be very formal. Dear sir, madam, a pleasure to have whatever, whatever. That is not what you want to do. That is by no means something you want to do. Is emails shouldn't be formal, because every other sales rep is generally formal because they're afraid to talk to a person like their friend or someone they're working with. I and people are afraid of self-deprecating jokes. How will they make them feel? They work like a charm. So if you're writing copy, so this is my 2 cents. If you're writing copy for Remedy, don't be formal. Just don't. Like, when I say formal, I don't mean like going to like the whom's and whatever,
Yeah.
but like use like you are actually writing email to someone, and
It's your
like in
buddy.
your own words. Yeah, like in your own words. Maybe not to your brother, because I know what you guys discuss. But I don't know what you put in emails, but it should be different, because that will make it stand out. In anyway, that's my digression on the sales, not just moving, but in general, in terms of cold outreach.
Just random topic. A big trend we've seen in payments like the last 12 months is chargebacks, like customer disputes. And what happened is during COVID, you had a lot of people that started to purchase things online, whether it could be from your local restaurant or Amazon or whatever it is. And there was a lot of supply chain issues. So people didn't necessarily get what they ordered, and they learned how to dispute a transaction with their credit card. Like, a lot of people still don't know that they can dispute a transaction. And once they learn that, they're like, oh, well, the mover dented my refrigerator. I want my money back. And they started filing more chargebacks. So it's actually called the Great American Chargeback Surge right now, because
Oh my
so many
god!
are just disputing transactions.
And imagine this: you dispute a transaction that has happened, and you receive the product that you paid for. How annoying is that? And tell me how you deal with that.
So, I mean, it really comes down to proving that you communicated your policies to the end user or the consumer. And you just have to really walk through all the different scenarios. So, if you're trying to charge somebody, let's call it a no show or a cancellation fee, but you never had a document signed saying that they agreed to your cancellation fee. Well, if the customer disputes that transaction, there's going to be no way for you, the mover, to prove that the customer agreed to your policy. And if you can't prove that, you're going to lose. With valuation coverage, when it comes to damaged items, you need to make sure that people are signing or initialing close to the coverage that they choose, because if something gets damaged during the move, you need to have that proof that you can say, this is the policy they agreed to and we're abiding by the policy. So you just have to think about all the different scenarios that can present themselves, because a lot of people think, oh, I have a credit card authorization form. Like, the customer said I can charge their card, I'm protected. Well, the customer said you could charge their card, but they didn't say you could damage their goods. So now you have to show that the policy that they agreed to in order to win those kind of disputes. Another one we see a lot is if the father's booking the move for his son. I had a big one, a $12,000 one. Son was moving. Father said he'd pay for the move. Son wanted to have all the packing services, pack all my stuff. He wanted the white glove, everything. Bill ended up being $12,000. Father, I don't think, knew it was going to be that expensive. I think he thought it was probably going to be like $2,000 or $3,000. He disputed the transaction. The son's name was on the bill of lading, not the father. And the father won the dispute, because there was no way for the moving company to prove that the father authorized the son to use his credit card. So you just have to think about all the weird scenarios. And that's kind of where we really help our merchants, because if you have a chargeback with Remedy, we reach out to you personally. Like, what most people do is they send you a letter in the mail and now you got to figure out what to do. We personally reach out to you. We tell you to send us all your documents. We review it. If we're not happy with what you gave us, there's no benefit to us to push back other than to help you. But we'll push back and we'll say, hey, do you have a clear copy of the bill of lading? Or do you have a signed copy? Or do you have any email communication? So when it comes to fighting the disputes, that's why you want to work with a processor that really understands your business. Otherwise, you're going to get that generic service. And if you have a $10,000 dispute, you want someone that knows what they're doing.
Look, I think, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, last year we saw 3,500 plus customer disputes for moves. We won over 92% of the time.
That is awesome, though.
Yeah. So that was a big value add for our customers.
Yeah. So it's not awesome that there are chargebacks, but it's awesome that you do that for your customers, because it's key. And I think the segment that you said, it's super educational, because it goes to show what a solution like Remedy can do to help everybody out, and what are some of the things that movers should be looking out for today as customers get more acquainted with ways of charging back and disputing transactions. I mean, it's super important.
And it's called friendly fraud. So, like, if you have a customer that disputes a transaction, you have 14 days to reply. If you don't reply in 14 days, you just lose. And then movers get mad, I mean, understandably, because they performed a job, they paid for the gas, they paid for the labor, the truck, the insurance, the whole situation. And then they're having this customer dispute this transaction. And they know they perform the services and they feel like they should win, but sometimes they find themselves in a situation where they realize maybe we need to do a better job documenting.
And this is the thing where a good, solid operating system can help movers streamline paperwork, signing stuff, documentation, transparency of the things that have happened, recordings of calls, video, images, whatever, to make sure that they can minimize a transaction being disputed.
And if it is disputed, at least you have the protection you need to go win it.
Yeah, I mean, and when you have someone like you by your side, I think it's going to be super important to be able to battle that stuff and help be in their corner to make sure that they get paid for what the service they perform. That's so annoying. I mean, that's just proper annoying. And people who do that should be
there should be a penalty. There should be a penalty. Like, if
there should be.
There's no penalty.
They should.
If you dispute a transaction and you lose as the consumer, you should have like a little fee you have to pay or something.
You have to pay, like you have to have something, because right now, what you just told me, I can go out and dispute every single transaction I've done on my credit card, and I will lose 92% of them.
You're
But
gonna
I'll
win
win-
some of them though.
Exactly, but I'll win 8%. It's a win for me, even though if, for example, if I'm up against you guys or whomever, like at 100 transactions, I'll win 8. Even though I got the service, even though I'm assuming that I got the service, what I got what I paid for. I'm assuming all of those things. That's a bunch of assumptions, but still, like that is just beyond. And I'll be explicit. People who do that should get slapped, but
Yeah.
but not slapped with with a backhand. It should be like one of those across the face, and it should be in public as well. It has to be like you take them out. They're somewhere in public, and just like do a slap, just for just for show. It shouldn't hurt, but just for show. Because why would you do that to someone? Because all they're trying to do is put money on the table for other people and to pay to earn money. I mean, to do the job. Anyway,
Yeah.
I have a lot of pet peeves when it comes to that. Um, anyway, so in terms of how you guys are looking for the future, what are you looking to do potentially, if you don't mind sharing, if you have like a plan for going forward, that outside of this phenomenal customer service that you guys have, that will add more value and broaden the scope of services that you guys offer?
We're going to start now that we have a nice solid base and we're making progress just with the moving side. Like we work with about 1,200 moving companies now. We're going to start offering some new financial products. So a couple of the things that we're working on are a buy now, pay later program.
Yeah.
So mover wants to finance their job over a couple payments. We're looking at longer term loans, personal loans for consumers that have a larger $10,000 move and they want to finance it over 36 months with 5-minute approvals. We're looking at a cash discount program. So for certain movers, they don't want to pay any fees. They just don't want to have to deal with it. They don't want to make sure the money's in the bank account at the end of the month to pay for all the fees. They just want to have the fee passed on to the customer. So there's a cash discounting program where you can pass the fee on to the customer. So let's say you book $1,000 move, and let's say that we're going to pass a 3.5% fee onto the customer. Well, the mover is going to charge $1,035. The 3.5% gets added. $1,000 gets funded to the mover's bank account. The $35 goes to pay the credit card processing fees. At the end of the month, mover pays nothing. They pay no credit card processing fees. They literally had all the fees taken out from the jobs. So that's another big trend we're seeing. So between the buy now, pay later, the cash discounting program, and the longer term personal loans, those are 3 new financial products we want to launch in the next 12 months.
And those are phenomenal products. I've seen a lot of success with the Klarnas and the firms of this world that are doing, pay move now, pay later, and a bunch of other stuff. And I think it's super successful, especially with the recession looming. I think it'll be super important. And then personal loans, I think that's a huge plus.
And
Especially,
the goal here,
yeah.
I was going to say, the goal is to kind of, when people move, they want to have some cash to buy a new couch or decorate their new place. So these solutions kind of help free up the funds on their credit card so that they can do that.
And imagine if you receive a lump sum, and now you don't have to spend your entire lump sum that you received from your company, but you can actually segment it over the 36 months, whatever. So you can buy a new couch, so you have some money in the bank, and you can finance the move in a different way. I think those are all phenomenal products to have. And I'm super excited to see how you guys develop all of that. And I'm looking forward to, seeing the development. I've repeated myself like a parrot now, but it's completely fine because you can see this is not prepared.
No, it's going to be fun. We're excited for the future, and it'll be some work, but it'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, I have zero I have zero doubts that you'll get there. Because look, now as you have 1,200 moving companies, that you work with and you're partnered with, I think that helping them further increase their own revenue by providing different services is going to be a huge value add to everything that you guys do, and it will solidify your position in the market that's so let's say humbly relatively decent.
Yeah.
And, so, well, Alex, it's been an absolute pleasure, my man, having you on the show. Did we? Is there anything else you can see people walking behind? Is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience and everything? Anything that we might have not covered?
No, we're just excited to be part of the industry, and we're excited to get back out to trade shows later this year. So we'll be at 6 different trade shows before the year ends, and then I think that you'll be at one of them. So it'll be nice to see you in person.
There we
But
go. Speaking of
let's.
in person, last time it was nice, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, we'll have fun. We'll have a drink or two.
Yeah, or two, one or two. It's fine. It's fine. We're not going into details, but it was super fun. I'm excited.
But thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be on here.
Look, like the least I can do is have friends over to join and help spread the word and what they're doing and help them even reach more people. So, thank you very much for jumping on board. I know you're busy. I know, summer in the moving season is not easily figured out, especially as a credit card processing company with everything that's going on. So it's been a pleasure, my man. Thank you very much for joining. Once again, Alex with Remedy Payments.
Thanks, Milo.
Thank you.